Just a few days ago, my Evo was sitting out on the street and some dude ran into the side of it. Homie didn't have insurance. Very crazy series of events happened that day with this car. How fast were you?
I wasn't going that fast at all. Look at the damage on my car.
Well, and today we are gonna start the rebuild process, getting this thing back on the road in mint condition.
I could fucking pay you cash or whatever the fuck, man. I don't know what the fuck.
When he hit it, he damaged, of course, the bumper, cracked it all up there, smashed in the quarter panel, bent our raised gram light wheel, bent some control arms, broke the Varus diffuser, and like I said, our friend did not have insurance.
I've got insurance, but not on this vehicle.
Before I make any decisions on how I'm gonna go about fixing this car, I figured let's get her up in the air, take a peek underneath, and see what's going on. So we got two options with getting this thing fixed. First option, drop it off at a collision center, put no hands on it myself, and just have them do everything. Insurance pays them, it comes back, it's done. Insurance would not cover a couple little things aftermarket wise on the car, like the wheel, the diffuser, the rear bumper aprons, stuff like that they wouldn't cover, which kind of sucks because it adds up to like 2,500 bucks they wouldn't cover. Or option number two is fix it myself. Y'all know me, if I can save a buck here, a buck there, I'm gonna do that. So let's go underneath the car and see what is bent. That guy's bent. Looks like the coilover did get tweaked a little bit. This arm right here, it looks fine. I'm gonna pull it off to make sure it's not bent. And I don't think the upper got bent at all, but I will most likely pull that off as well just to make sure. After further assessment, we only had one bent arm, and that was the toe arm. All right, we got the suspension all dialed in, all sorted out, bent control arm replaced. I think everything else is fine. I do need to get it on the alignment rack and make sure it'll align. And if it aligns, then we're good to go. As you can see, driving straight, the steering wheel is still turned, which of course means the alignment's still quite a bit off. Wheel needs to be replaced, not a big deal there, nice and simple. Right now I am heading to a paintless dent repair shop. Of course this quarter panel is gonna need to be painted. The goal with paintless dent repair, at least on this car, is going to be to get it as close to factory as possible as far as metal shaping goes, so we don't have to use nearly as much filler. If I was to go ahead and do the bodywork on that quarter, it would need a lot of filler from myself. How's it going, Dan? It's quite loud, huh?
You could hear someone. I thought someone was right out my door when you were
out. Yeah, it's loud. I know it's gonna need paint work regardless, but.
Subarus or what?
This is a Mitsubishi.
Oh.
Yeah. I got both. I like both, but yeah, that's the quarter. So.
Racing?
This thing?
Yeah.
No, it got hit right outside my shop, just sitting on the street. Some dude hit it.
Oh yeah, that's what you said.
Yeah. So.
Looks like a big truck, all tired.
It was a X5, a BMW X5. And then he hit the wheel right here.
Oh, ouch. Yeah.
And it bent some of the control arms. But yeah, I know it's still gonna need paint work because it cracked it, but
yeah.
I don't know how close you can get it without.
Oh, I can get it pretty close. I would say this would be the worst area to do anything with.
I can take whatever off. Just let me know what you want off.
Well,
the bumper, of course.
Yeah, I'd say the bumper, this plastic part.
Okay. Interior trim.
I'd say the interior trim, and then I can pull this out if I need to come in and get leverage somehow through there. But
easy enough. Well, I'll head back and pop all that stuff off. I can swing it back tomorrow.
Okay.
Awesome. I'll see you tomorrow, man.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, that's good news. I like that. Dan's the man. Got the car back in the shop, pulled off the Varus diffuser, tail lights come off, rear bumper comes off, the bumper bracket comes off, and out comes the interior panels. Removing that trunk liner gives you all the access in the world. I'm gonna just push on it for fun to see what happens. Hopefully it'll make it worse. Yeah, I'll probably make it worse. Let's not do that. We just got the car back from the paintless dent repair shop. As you can see, it already is much better. Only gonna need a little bit of filler right down in here, that main big dent that's fully pulled out. So it is now time to move on to getting this thing ready for paint. Before I go ahead and apply the body filler, I'm gonna grind the damaged area down to bare metal just so it adheres properly. So we got it all ground down and I ended up finding a little tear in the metal. Being that the Evo 10 quarter panels are made of steel, I was able to give her a quick tack weld, grind her flat, and the tear was all fixed up. From there, it was time to apply a little bit of body filler, wait a few minutes, get her sanded nice and flat, and line up the rear bumper to see how she fits. Today's video is sponsored by me. The latest Devin apparel drop is live right this freaking second. Go check it out. Ton of Evo goodies, a new Fast Cars and Freedom t-shirt, some new joggers, and this beautiful drip tee. First 50 orders are gonna get a free Nobori flag, and as always, every order over $150 here in the domestic United States does qualify for free shipping. Alrighty, so we got the quarter panel ready to go for primer. The bumper is already in primer. I had the bumper fixed by Bobby's dad's shop. Being that it was plastic and needed to be welded, they have a plastic welder there, so they took care of the bumper for me. Before we prime the quarter panel, there's one more thing I want to take care of on this thing real quick, and that is our trunk. There are holes in the trunk for the wing that we used to run on this car. I personally like this car better wingless. I've decided it's staying wingless for life. We are running the Duluck trunk, which looks very, very nice. So I need to go ahead and fill all of the holes. 3 holes here and 3 holes here. The trunk paint doesn't match anyway, and that's really been bugging me. So it's a perfect opportunity to get this thing actually wingless, looking nice, and color matched to the rest of the car properly. Went ahead and cleaned up the holes with the drill bit, taped off the backside, filled the holes in with some of this very, very strong panel bond, sanded that flat, and we are off to some body filler. Trunk holes are completely filled and ready for primer, as well as the quarter panel is ready for some primer. Being that we finished off our body filler with 320 grit, I knew we didn't need much primer whatsoever. So it's been 4 days since I laid down the primer. That is plenty of enough time for the primer to shrink up into all of the sand scratches. Now we're gonna go ahead and slap down some guide coat and wet sand out the primer. Make it nice and perfectly flat, perfectly smooth. I want this car as nice as it was before, so let's take our time. So this right here is the whole reason for guide coat. You see this little guy right here? That black little divot or scratch? We're gonna sand until that is completely gone, and then that is how we know it is 100% flat. If we did not have the guide coat on there, I would have no idea that's there, and you would see that underneath our paint. Finished off the quarter panel, rear bumper, and deck lid, pulled her outside, and made the final decision that we are gonna blend onto the rear door. I've always found that white is very, very hard to match perfectly. So the more area you have to blend, the better. Really tricks the eye in case the color is not a perfect match. Went ahead and sanded down the rear door with 800 grit and a gray scuff pad. Got her all cleaned up, prepped out, ready for the paint booth. As soon as we were in the paint booth, got the entire car masked off, cleaned up, and I was ready to start laying down some paint. Took about 4 coats of color to get her fully covered, let that completely flash off, and this thing is ready for some clear coat. Very pleased to say I just knocked out the best paint job I've ever laid down by myself. Man, oh man. A little bit of dirt here and there, but I don't see a single run. Very, very nice texture. Blended all the way to about here. Unbolted door and the pillar. So everything should match very, very nicely. Here is the gas lid. Hopefully that matches perfectly, being it's off the car. The little rear bumper spats and the rear bumper itself. Dang, cannot wait to get this stuff out of here tomorrow. I'm gonna leave this thing in the booth overnight and then pop back here tomorrow, pull it out of the booth, bring it back to the shop, and see how good it really looks. Is it perfect? I would say it's perfect. Is it the best job I've ever done? Absolutely. Let's go ahead and get this thing fully reassembled. I'm gonna start with the door and then move my way back to the rear bumper and whatnot. Various diffuser's gotta go back on. Even though it's a little bit broken, it's better than nothing. Being that this paint job was less than 12 hours old, I had to be very careful getting this thing back together, making sure to not chip or scratch or scuff the paint whatsoever. But y'all know I could not wait any longer to see this thing complete. Door done, gas lid back on, diffuser's going back on the rear bumper, and the bumper goes on the car for the very first time. Taillights in, click them on, make sure they work, and time to stand back and take a good look at her beautiful work. I must say I have impressed myself with how good this thing turned out. Remember those holes that used to be here for the wing? Can't tell they were over there. That side as well looks absolutely beautiful. And being that we blended that quarter panel, you could never tell this thing was resprayed. All right, the very, very last thing that we need to get sorted is the wheel that got damaged. Now we had two options for the wheel. Option one is the obvious option, just replace it, about $500–600, or option two is go the cheaper route, which of course is what I'm doing because that's just how I roll. I dropped the wheel off at a local wheel shop here and they bent it back for $100. And now we can go ahead and powder coat it to match the rest of the wheels, which the powder for this repair job for just one wheel is like $5 worth. So 500 bucks versus 105 bucks. I'm gonna take the $105 route. Starting out, we had to strip off all of the factory powder coat from Ray's. So it goes in the powder coat strip tank. The wheel spends a couple minutes in there. Pull her out, as you can see, no more powder coat left. Give her a quick, nice little sandblast to make sure it's perfectly clean. And the powder of choice today is Blackjack from Prismatic Powders. Hoping it's a nice close match, but I guess we'll see. While the wheel's in the oven, I went ahead and installed the rear bumper aprons. Wheel is out, cooled down, time to mount the tire, pull this thing outside and take a gander, see how she looks. Car's all finished up like it never happened. Last thing we need is, of course, to get this thing aligned, but I would say for now, it's good enough for a good old-fashioned ripper. All right, if any of you guys are interested, I'm gonna do a quick cost breakdown of what it costed me to fix this car versus what it would have cost at a auto repair shop. I got quotes for around $4,000 to fix the body damage on the car. I would have had to pay for the wheel out of pocket because my insurance didn't cover it. As you guys saw, the Varus diffuser was also damaged a little bit. I'm still running it on the car. It doesn't really bug me that much for the cost of like $2,000 to replace. I figured it wasn't worth it. So total cost breakdown, we started out with PDR. That was only 100 bucks to get this thing PDR'd, and it got it super close. Paint materials, primer, the color, which is the base coat, and the clear coat, $300 for all of that with everything else I needed. Of course, I already had the paint gun. Paint booth rental, I paid them 200 bucks, so we're at $600 right now. $100 to bend back the wheel, $5 for powder, so that's $705. And what else? Some time. Can't really put a price on time. We were also able to fix the holes in the trunk, which would have costed a whole lot more money at an auto repair shop to do. And it did damage the rear bumper apron. I was able to fix that here at the shop. Maybe $5 in materials to fix that. So I guess you could say by fixing it ourselves, we saved probably $3,000. It's not perfect. I know the body line on the quarter panel where it meets the bumper, it's a little bit funny and it does bug me a little bit. It's obviously not bad enough to fix it. I think I can just adjust the bumper enough to kind of trick the eye to make it seem like it's not like that. I wish I was better at body work, and I know I will get better one day, but for now, obviously, like, I cannot be more stoked with how this paint job turned out. Very, very blessed, I guess you could say, that I was able to spray this thing out in a booth. Helps a lot. So yeah, total cost, $705 to fix this whole entire thing. Paint, booth rental, PDR, bend back the wheel, powder coat, and that's a wrap.